How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Something really weird's happening in that we had some major economic news that was supposed to come out 10 minutes ago, and yet it's nowhere. But the markets are pumping anyways. We also have Bitcoin being dumped right now. Not on the market, but two different entities, a bunch of distributions going out. I want to go through this at the end of the video. We'll check too to see if that data finally came out or not. But as you can see here, Bitcoin moving back above $60,000. And as you can see here as well, I had placed a long position right here at 58.6. And I had said, this is super aggressive, but we were right on this trend line. And then we moved up. We played it pretty much perfectly. And guess what? Well, we hit that same line again and pumped up again. So if you've been playing this, you probably would have done quite well. You can see we are going into a bit of a triangle here. It'll be interesting to see where we go in the next few days. But first, we should cover some of the news here. If you don't mind, like I said, hit subscribe. There is a link underneath the video to MargeX in case you want to start trading cryptocurrency. You can start trading in just a few seconds. One position I have from just a few days ago is up 437%. The one from yesterday that's super aggressive, 100x, is up 258%. Not saying that you should do that by any means, but you can go 5 to 100x over on MargeX. And there's also a link to Blowfin in CoinW as well that allow you to go about 3x, I believe. But check those links out underneath the video. Let's start here. Fed was going to revise their jobs number today, and the expectation was that they would revise by up to 1 million down. So there were some banks that said we think it's about 500,000 to maybe 1 million too high. And yeah, that was supposed to come out at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's now 10:10 a.m. Eastern time, and there's no news, which is weird because the market actually reacted to the BLS revision number. Like the market moved up right when this happened, or right when we were supposed to get this information, and yet there was no news that came out. Like it might just be people getting liquidated at this point. We also have some other interesting news though, and there are stock market reactions as well. We'll check on the revision just to see if it's come out yet by the end of the video. But IBIT just dominating this year. I mean, take a look at this. Global ETF flows are at 911 billion year to date. That's huge, almost $1 trillion. A near lock to break their annual record of 1.2 trillion, thanks to more contributions from non-US countries who are adding close to 40% of the total versus 25% in 2021. Also, there have been 1,121 ETFs launched globally this year, which also is at record pace. And you can see IBIT really pulling its weight. It's the third highest in terms of inflows year to date. Now, it looks like that might be passed by VTI here soon, but $20.5 billion flowing into IBIT this year. And if you look down here, FBTC is actually number 14 as well. They might pass 10 billion in inflows. There were decent numbers from yesterday too, with BlackRock buying 933 Bitcoin, ARK buying 881, Bitwise 110, and Bitwise with negative 110, and GBTC with negative 217. BlackRock also passed 350,000 Bitcoin, just swallowing up so much. And you can see Mr. 100 buying a significant amount of Bitcoin yesterday as well, 400 Bitcoin, and then Ari buying another 101 Bitcoin here today. Senator Lumis says creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve will cut our national debt in half by 2045, secure the U.S. as a world leader in financial innovation, and create a brighter future for generations of Americans. Now, if I remember right, Robert Kennedy Jr. Said that we would buy 500 Bitcoin a day for the next 20 years under him, which would, at $3 million, which is what Michael Saylor said, Bitcoin would be worth on the bear case, I believe. That'd be 1.095 e to the 13th, which is about $11 trillion. So you can see where Senator Lumis is getting her numbers from, cutting the debt in half. We have around 35 trillion in debt, so maybe she's thinking we'll actually be at something like $4 million, which would be almost half our debt, $5 million would be nearly half, almost exactly half our debt now. So very bullish. She's very bullish, but it is interesting to see a senator push so hard for Bitcoin. She also says it would secure the U.S. as a world leader in global and financial innovation and create a brighter future for generations of Americans. So cool to see someone in a position of power pushing Bitcoin so hard. Mt. Gox is absolutely dumping Bitcoin. At least they're distributing it, right? Kind of an interesting way, I guess, of phrasing that, dumping it. But they just distributed another 13.3 thousand Bitcoin to creditors or to exchanges that will then give it to creditors. You can see, though, they went from 140 down to now about 35-ish, 35,000 Bitcoin. So yeah, there's been 100,000 Bitcoin, over 100,000 Bitcoin over the last month and a couple days that has been distributed to their creditors or to exchanges and then to their creditors. Genesis Trading also, I don't know how I missed this, but they dropped 46,000 Bitcoin earlier this month. So yeah, there's just been so much overhang recently. Yeah, Bitcoin's price still at about $59,000, $60,000. So overall, I think we're sitting in a fine position moving forward. Let's see. Apparently, this still hasn't come out, but let's just double check the jobs revision and see how people are feeling about it. Okay, and I double checked with a lot of sources, and yeah, it was supposed to come out at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific here today, the jobs data or the job revision, and yet it's still not out 20 minutes later. So I guess we'll have to update you in the next video. Now keep in mind that around this time of year, things can get a little bit dull just in the markets in general. Obviously, crypto has been a little bit dull for months here, and you don't want to tune out. Right now, though, this is the time where a lot of institutions have people going on vacation. I was listening to someone the other day, and they said that back when they worked for one of these big Wall Street firms, they'd have like 2 of their 6 employees working. The other 4 would be resting and going on vacation, that kind of thing. So be ready for that over the next couple weeks. Now, there's still going to be some important economic data. There's still going to be news, but just in general, the last couple months have been boring in crypto, but it's not the time to tune out because typically we go up pretty drastically in the fall. And I believe it's October, September, some of the best months for crypto. So be ready for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll include some information, hopefully, on the jobs revision in the next video. We'll see you soon.